Yo, what's goody?
What's good? What's good, man?
What's good?
What's going on, bro?
Um, welcome to another episode of the Bridge Podcast. I am your co-host, Relski.
I'm your
Um,
host. I'm your host, the delegate, Andre Johnson.
yes, sir.
And
Yes,
today in
sir.
the building, we got Jai Lewis. Jai Lewis, uh, Harford
Mr.
County.
George Mason
Yes,
himself,
sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Final Four,
Hey,
Man, how y'all
hey,
doing?
Mr. CBS,
one of the Route Four,
Mr. Get a Bucket.
Yeah,
one of not only Aberdeen but Harford County greatest, man.
Yeah,
He went on and did some great things in college, man. And I mean, even though I went to Edgewood, he went to Aberdeen and everything. But I ain't gonna hold that against him. He
right.
ravaged us. Uh, you know, but
uh,
but no, man, we happy to have you, man. Hey, before we get into this job, man, I just want everyone out there to know, man, to these episodes are going to be on YouTube. Like and subscribe. We're going to be bringing many more people from around the area on here. But we so happy to have Jai on here today, man. It was hard getting a hold of him, but we finally got him on the podcast. So we're gonna get into it, man. We're gonna talk about his high school career, his college career, and then a lot of things what he wants to do here in the community. So with that being said, man, Jarrell, go ahead and kick us off, man.
Talk your talk, bro. I've been knowing Ja, for some years, over 20 years. Me and his brother used to kick it heavy. Yeah, I mean, so and we had, a group of guys back in the day that, we hung out with CBS, BFA, Ja's definitely always been one of the ones that's always, stayed real, stayed uh the same for real, ain't never, you know, changed, always been around the community helping out as far as I can remember. You know what I mean? Um and job you're working in Baltimore City school systems now, right? Uh, Go ahead and talk, bro. Tell everybody what you're doing, bro.
yeah. I'm currently working at Merville High School, Mergenthaler High School.
That's where Skinner at, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Stanley Skinner. He's the man there. He's the principal there. So we started out at Frederick Douglass. Now we on the east side to Merville. So
Hmm.
I'm just trying to reach a kid, teach a kid, and try to help them live their dreams. I was able to live my dream, so that's all I'm trying to do is continue kids living their dream. So
So,
Yeah.
so, so, Jai, with that, man, that's a great segue. With living your dream, man. So let's get into like your high school career and in at Aberdeen and um, what was necessary. What were some of your greatest battles in high school playing ball, and then what were some of those things that you did that was necessary to get you from Aberdeen High School into that D1 school.
um man, the biggest thing for me to get into the D1 school was just me locking down and focusing on my grades in school.
Mhm,
Um, when they say you can't go nowhere without grades or education, they mean that.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
if you ask anybody about me coming out of high school, everybody would have thought I would have went and played football in
Okay.
college.
Okay.
Um, I would have thought so too, but by the time I got midway through my senior year, I done took the SAT a couple times and I couldn't qualify. The football schools left me alone. It was really the schools that was recruiting me for basketball kept interest, and I ended up having to go to a prep school. Once I went to prep school, I was able to get my SAT, and that's how I was able to get my basketball scholarship. So I was just lucky enough to be somewhat good in two sports that I had a way to cover myself to get me to college.
So you were a dual sport athlete, and
Try
I was,
sport
I was a
athlete.
tri
Yeah,
sport athlete.
yeah. You play lacrosse too.
you
I
played
played,
lacrosse. I didn't know that you played lacrosse, man.
I played
Did you,
lacrosse.
did you play lacrosse or did you play lacrosse?
I was on varsity my freshman year, and I never touched a stick.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you know, what I mean, I don't consider myself a basketball player or a football player. I consider myself an athlete.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Put me on any field, any court. I'm going to be productive. So, um,
So
yeah,
what what
I
what
played
what sport?
lacrosse. I ran track. I
Yeah.
threw the shot put. Yeah,
So what sport was your love? Like what was, if you could play any of those sports, what was the one sport that you absolutely loved to play?
I'm gonna say basketball. That's what I started with.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I actually started with soccer, but I didn't know.
You too big for soccer, bro.
And listen. Believe it or not, I played striker and goalie playing soccer.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Stop.
you know, Rel, just because I'm big don't mean I can't move.
Right, right.
I be moving. So yeah, I started off playing soccer, but basketball was my love. That's I went to different cities, different places. I go to Hattie Grace, I go to Edgewood, I go to Joppatown, I go to the city. We trying to take my five anywhere. We trying to pick up and play ball.
Okay.
Mhm.
So that's something
You
I really
still running it too.
yeah. You know, now I'm in the
Yeah,
40 and over league, so you know
right.
my pace has slowed down a little bit, but
Yeah.
the
You ain't got no
IQ.
win. You ain't got no win no more.
Oh, it's just I'm not running behind no 21-year-olds no
Oh
more.
yeah, yeah.
So you put me, you know, I kind of simplify things. I know everybody I'm playing against is either 40 or over, so
Yeah.
I'm
Hmm.
good.
Okay.
You know, 21-year-olds, them young boys, they gonna run all day.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
So it's all about the pace now.
So
Yeah.
so Jarrell, I want to get into to two, man. Like Jazz is like the way he perceives how basketball is being played today. Like, do you think that the level of play has been elevated, or do you think that the level of play has been kind of tamped down a little bit, like due to the Steph Curry effect? Everybody want to shoot threes. Everybody want to be a
Ain't the
three.
Steph Curry effect, yo.
It,
We ain't getting into that
we're
today,
gonna get into
yo.
that because
We're not getting
you
into
know
that
where I
today,
wanted to go.
man.
You know, I think that the sport has been taken down a road where nobody wants to be a positional player now. Everybody thinks that they can shoot the three. Everybody thinks that they're made to shoot the three. So
But it ain't Steph Curry's fault though.
it was Steph Curry's fault.
No, it's not.
What you think, John?
But
What you
go
think?
ahead, John.
Go ahead. Keep it funky too. Keep it 100.
I can agree it is the Steph Curry effect. You know,
Hey,
everybody wants to shoot a three, shoot a deep three, but everybody's not putting in that same amount of work that Steph Curry is for them to shoot those type shots. Um, I think is right now it's just for me. I just see it's the lack of IQ. He's not really knowing when and why shots are being taken or the purpose of taking these shots. Um, so I mean, it's hard to say. Mr. Johnson, I know you said that the game ain't the same as it used to be, but everything's meant to evolve.
True. True.
But I just feel like it's just different. People have different reasons on why they playing the game. Like watch high school kids now. You gotta make sure the cameraman is at the game, so they're taking pictures and video, and you know that's not what we was about when we was playing.
Right, and that's the part that I don't agree with. Things are meant to evolve. You know, like that part of the game is not meant to. Because these kids don't want to put in the work. They automatically think that they're Steph Curry or whoever. So that part of the game ain't supposed to evolve. Like you always supposed to put in that work. You always supposed to practice. You always supposed to put up 1,000 jump shots a day. They ain't doing that.
Yeah, but I would say this: when I was a kid, I ain't have no trainer. We didn't have access to a gym like that, so we had the outside courts. We would go out and play. call my homeboys, yo, I'm at such and such court, show up. We playing 5-on-5. Or I'm going with where the older guys are at and playing with them.
Right.
Go to a basketball court now, you don't see nobody out there.
Right.
Right.
It's
too hot. It's too hot outside.
It ain't even that. They just want to. This is the age of the trainers.
Right.
Kids just ain't outside. I played and got better. I didn't
Yeah.
train.
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of these, what I see is like a lot of kids will go to these trainers, but they're not taking what they're being trained and translating it to the game. Even if I go to a trainer, I still got to go outside and practice that stuff on my own, or at least go play somewhere so I can try these things in game. I can't just go to a trainer, then, oh, he taught me this, or I worked on this, and I go straight into a real game and try it. It's not going to work.
Right.
You're not doing anything game speed. So,
right. All right. So we about to get on a tangent down the rabbit hole about the new age of basketball. So talk to us about your college experience and what that meant to you. Yeah.
College meant a lot for me. It was twofold. I went to college because I wanted to play basketball, and I had a purpose. I had some people I needed to prove wrong because a lot of people didn't think I was going to go to college. I was going to graduate. So I had a little fuel behind me to be successful on the basketball court and to make sure I graduated. So
right. Yeah, that's definitely deep, bro. Because growing up where we grew up, not a lot of only person that I knew that went to college was one dude, and he was at like a community college, but it was still a college. But he was still on the block hustling.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I didn't know anybody else. Until I got like to high school. I think Stephon Watson. Yeah, I mean, he went to Wisconsin, right? Like he was the only person that I knew that went to a different college and stuff like that. So, coming from where we came from, we had to prove a lot of people wrong about stereotypes and not just being another statistic.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like even the year I graduated high school, it could have been about 5 or 6 other guys that got scholarships.
Absolutely.
Like I even remember the summer going into my senior year, me and the teammate went to Virginia Tech for football camp. And I think if that guy was a little bit more focused, he'd be in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
With me in high school. So I think when we was coming up, man, we was like a hub. We had so many athletes coming out. They were just focused on different things or had different responsibilities that caused them to have to do different things. So it was all about sacrificing at some point.
Absolutely.
So that being said, too, man, like transitioning from high school to college, like from high school, you said that you had to go to a prep school, right?
Yeah.
So before going to the prep school, you may have been getting good grades or maybe subpar grades. Were teachers, were coaches, were even guidance counselors helping you navigate those areas? Because a lot of people don't know about the clearinghouse. A lot of people don't know what a red shirt, what a gray shirt is. You understand what I'm saying? So John, man, this is going to be ear candy for a lot of kids out here that's going to be tuning in and listening to this. So I need you to drop some jewels on them for real.
Luckily for me, I was able to get on established AAU program out the city, and my AAU coach is the one that kind of like let me know what was going on as far as my clearinghouse stuff, my grades. Because honestly, in school, I was just doing enough that I stayed eligible.
Right.
I wasn't an A, B student. I wasn't a D, E student either, but I was getting C's and B's. But my SAT score, I needed like a 10. I was only getting like an 850 on the SATs during high school. So It's just things that you need to know about as far as your grades and what's counting towards your GPA, what's not, and just staying focused. Luckily, I wasn't a class clown. I wasn't somebody that was always disrupting the class. I wasn't a teacher's pet, but teachers were cool with me. I didn't cause no problems. So when it came down to me coming to ask for extra work or how I need help with something, they had no problems helping me. So I wasn't a bad kid, so to speak. So I just think
Ja, did you have to physically go and seek the help from the teachers or from guidance counselors, or were they available to you?
I think they were available, but I never knew to go talk to the guidance counselors about anything.
Right.
I figured if I'm going to get a scholarship to school, what I need a guidance counselor for.
Right.
To be honest
Only
with you,
time.
the schools who are interested in me, they're going to contact the guidance counselor, get my transcripts, get my grades. But a lot of the coaches were just talking to my AAU coach and letting him know what was going, and he would let me know, and I would do what I need to do to address whatever the issue was.
Only time we went to the guidance counselor was the beginning of the year.
Right.
I mean, to make sure that we had the right classes.
Yeah, that was it. So
but I think, man, like for real, like it's the guidance counselor's responsibility to make sure that you are on track and that you know exactly what it takes, because a lot of cats, they think that if they just perform on the field or on the court, that those colleges are automatically just going to scoop them up. But from my understanding, colleges are looking at kids, grades in 8th grade.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So I think because a kid or even the adults don't know what they don't know, right? They don't know that these colleges and that these college programs are looking at the grades in 8th grade. They don't know, like you said earlier, John, like taking the right courses, that GPA and all that stuff. They just, and like I said, they just know if they do well on the court or on the field that they feel like somebody's going to pick them up.
Right.
Like, if you got
I would say this though, a lot of the responsibility do come from that high school coach. That high school coach is the one that has to reach out to the schools and kind of like bridge that gap between the schools and the guidance counselors, because the guidance counselor ain't gonna know that you're getting recruited unless they've talked to the coach or contacted him. So it's like a partnership. If everybody's not working together to do their part, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, it's like it's only one guidance counselor per grade or per class, right? So that guidance counselor has like 300, 400 something students, so that student or that athlete has to be proactive and taking, his or her steps towards whatever level that they want to go. Whereas though, because that guidance counselor isn't coming to you.
Yeah, you know. And another thing kids got to understand now is it's an NIL deals out now. So it ain't just about your classwork. It's about your character. It's about how you treat people, how people perceive you now. So it's even harder to get that
your whole image.
Yeah.
So with the NIL, do you think that makes kids a little hungrier now to make sure that they're on the right track?
No.
I was about to say the same thing. Because they just looking for the bag. It ain't.
That's a bag, right? That's a bag.
So like,
but they don't know what that bag costs, though. I mean,
I'll say it like this. I played for Jim Larinaga. Senior year, we go to the Final Four. Eventually, he goes to Miami. right? 3 years ago, they went to the Elite Eight, right?
Miami.
Miami. After the Elite Eight, everybody leaves the team and transfers. Why? They just went to the Elite Eight, so now they're looking for a bigger NIL deal. So in turn, my coach quit this past season during the middle of the season because he can't handle kids leaving. They're not in school for basketball or trying to get to the next level. They're in school to get to the
But
the bag is trying to.
But that's what I'm saying, John. Though what I'm saying is that the short term to get kids into college to get that NIL because ain't nobody doing nothing for free now. They looking at making that money, right? I'm not talking about the coach or the program or anything like that. I'm talking about kids going from A, high school, to B, to the next level, right? And if they know that there's a bag there, then I'm thinking that they would at least try to get on the right track to get to that bag, right?
Yeah, but when you got kids who got egos and think they're better than what they are, then
okay. And then the other question is that is NIL for everybody? You understand what I'm saying? Like is NIL only for those elite athletes? Or is it for everybody? Are they spreading money to the lowest level kids?
Yeah, they spread the money to the lowest level. There's
the money is spread out through all programs, but if I'm at a football school and my football team is bringing in the most of the money, they're gonna get a bigger NIL deal than your tennis player.
Yeah, but then again, like I think we think about the big brands. Yeah. We think about the big brands for the NIL deals. A deal could be with anybody for real. You know, there's a guy, he coined his name as Mr. NIL. He graduated from a I think he might still be in school from a HBCU, I think in Virginia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he has over like 100 deals. Yeah, I mean, and you know, it all adds up, you know. So it could be with anybody.
Just imagine if he has over 100 deals. Imagine how he carries himself every day.
Exactly.
Imagine his character. Imagine how he talks to people. Even when people are not looking, he's acting or being a model citizen, if you want to call it. Even the manager on the basketball team gets NIL deals. All he's doing is preparing the jerseys, making sure you wake up on time on trip. Anybody in college can get an NIL deal. So it's all about your image, likeness, and your character. If your character is good, if they see I can't even think of the team, but the manager that I'm talking about, he walks the team out with a boombox. You know what I'm saying? So the energy that he brings and gets his team to perform the way they're supposed to, that's why he got his NIL deal. You know what I mean? So,
bro, you ain't getting no NIL, bro.
But listen, Virginia Commonwealth University, all their athletes get $350,000 from the school. That's not even the NIL deal. That's their contract from the school. So they can use their image and likeness without no problem.
Wow.
So they get 350 just to go to VCU plus their NIL deal.
So you brought up this the notion that, you know, kids need to prepare themselves for, you know, displaying their character, displaying their, you know, their personhood to the world, really. Yeah, I mean, that just brings me to my point of why we don't need another basketball camp. And now, I'm not against sports, obviously. Yeah, I mean, I'm just against, you know, the fact that we as black people has to be reeled in by sports. And I'm doing, I mean, the little reel.
Yeah.
We have to be reeled in by sports. Why can't we just have a straight up, you know, NIL deal camp? You know what I mean? Something like that, where we are focusing strictly on those things that, display, our character, our whatever. Yeah, I mean, so now, and you're working in like the behavioral specialist area, right?
Right.
Yeah, so you're already working in that field, right? So what do y'all do specifically?
So I pretty much teach kids how to deal with their emotions, getting them to try to think before they react.
Hmm.
I try to get them to understand the position that the whoever they mad at, understand where they're coming from a little bit. Like basically just getting all sides of getting all the information that you possibly can get before you act and have some sympathy and empathy for what that other person is going through at the time.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
And
get them to know that violence ain't always the answer. And
right.
when you dealing in my situation where I work at, you get a lot of kids succumbing to peer pressure.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, they don't want to look like the weak link. They don't want
Yeah.
to, excuse my language, they don't want to feel like they're getting bitched.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And this is the word they're using. So
Yeah.
a lot of times I'm like, man, who you out here to impress or who you out here to prove yourself to? None of these
Hmm.
that you trying to fight in front of or, be all big and bad in front of, but some of the stuff they doing is just they just trying to prove a point or have themselves an
Right.
image or something.
Right. 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 So let me ask you this. So with knowing how these kids operate nowadays, and we was operating the same way. You know what I mean? You know, we had the same sentiments towards a lot of things like that. However, we didn't necessarily have, anybody within our schools, to help us guide and direct our emotions, our feelings, and stuff like that. So knowing what you know and doing what you do now, um, how more important is it to have these quote unquote camps that I'm talking about? Because I don't think the school year is enough, you know. Um During the summertime might, turn kids um not away, but during the summertime kids act up, you know. So we need a year round, a yearly thing. You know what I mean? How much more important is it?
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily important to have camps,
Right,
but
right, right. Not a camp per se.
I think you need to during that school year find somebody or find a system, put a system in place where kids can go to somebody within the building that they feel safe with, they trust, and willing to build a relationship with, and knowing that that person is not going to judge them. That's the
Hmm.
one thing about my position in school. The kids, after they get to know me and understand who I am and what I will and will not tolerate, as far and that's what called building relationships. You know what I'm saying? So they got to
Hmm.
know me. I got to get to know them. I got to
Hmm.
understand where they're coming from, what they dealing with, so I know how to carry it, and they don't feel like I'm judging them.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's the one thing I think it is about the kids today. They don't want to be judged
Hmm.
or look weak or look like they need help all the time. And when
Hmm.
reality, you are weak because you don't know nothing.
Right.
You are being judged because you don't know nothing. You're a kid and you got all these adults trying to talk to you and do all these things. I just think they got to find ways for kids to be able to relate to some of these teachers um,
Hmm.
within the building. And for me, if you ask any of the kids the first month or two in school with me, they'll think I'm the meanest person in the building because
Yeah.
it's the way I carry myself. It's not that I demand respect. You're gonna give me my respect before
Yeah.
anything happens.
Yeah.
So once they understand that, I tell you, well, I done got into it with so many kids at the beginning of the year to where they go
Hmm.
my parent on you, or I'm talking that tough stuff.
Yeah.
By the middle of the year, when we come back from that Christmas break, I can't get the kids to leave me alone.
Hmm.
They know
Hmm.
I'm gonna be fair, so they know they can come with me with anything, and I'm gonna give them my honest opinion.
Hmm.
Uh, when I talk to the girls, I talk to them as if they my daughter, so it's coming from the heart. When I talk to the boys, I talk to them as if they my son, so they know. Look, the same thing you doing. If my kid was doing, I would tell him the same thing. So
Hmm.
they know I'm genuine with what I say and what I do for them, and they know if they mess up, I ain't rocking with it. You're not
Yeah.
gonna, with me. You're not gonna keep coming across the bridge and taking a piece of wood to where I ain't got no more bridge, and
Right.
you to still do stuff for you. So they know if they're landing with me, they know they got to carry themselves a certain way with me. And I think that's the one lost art when it comes to teaching. Um, this just from my position at the
Hmm.
team, that they don't want to really do no classroom management to where they got to get in the child's butt. Like,
Yeah.
um, and I do feel like a lot of teachers today are scared of kids,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So I don't mind being a big bad wolf for the first couple months of the school year because
Yeah.
you're not gonna come around me talking crazy, doing crazy,
Yeah.
and expect for me to give you a handout every time.
Right.
But once you sit down and have a conversation with those type kids and you start building that relationship, and they tend to come around. I think
Hmm.
when school start, I think teachers are so quick to get into the lesson plans and teaching
Hmm.
them instead of getting to know your kid. For me,
Right.
the first month of school, maybe the first 2 weeks, I wouldn't even look at a lesson plan and none of that. I'm doing things so I can know my students, to know when
Yeah.
what makes them tick, what makes them happy, what makes them sad. Um, Try to have some. You gotta do some things that's gonna keep them interactive within the school instead of just giving them a book and a paper and say, "Yo, find the answer."
Facts. Facts.
It's just a lot of things that's different as far as school from when we was there to now.
Hmm.
So
Right. Right. Right.
it's just a big.
And the thing about especially boys, boys they need to be dominated. Yeah, I mean, um, that's a lost art in this world, period. Boys need to be told what to do. They need to be, grabbed by the back of the neck. Look, you're doing this, you're doing that, you
Yeah,
know, and out of love.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, and that's very important, bro.
Yeah.
What
But
was you gonna say, Andre? Oh,
I
go ahead.
I tell you this though, Rel, it's the girls now.
Oh, bro,
It's the
believe,
girls.
believe me, bro.
It's the
I
girls,
I
man.
was substituting this past school year for maybe about like 3 months, bro. I
Yeah,
got fired, bro.
yeah,
not not nothing crazy, but I got fired behind some girls, bro.
yeah,
Some
yeah,
eighth grade girls.
yeah, man. It's for me, dealing with the girls is a real touchy subject because they act and move like the boys would.
Mm,
And to keep it real with you, the boys are moving and acting like how the girls are.
wow.
Like
Wow.
I know I had more girl fights than I did boy fights in the school.
Yeah.
I know I
Yeah.
had more girl issues than boys issues.
Yeah.
One thing I like about the boys is they can get to arguing and beefing. I take them
Hmm.
in the room, we have a mediation, they say whatever they need to say off their chest, and it's all
Done.
right, bro. The misunderstanding is understood.
Right.
You take two mediations with two girls, they're gonna say everything that you want them to say. They're gonna hug it out and still at the school
Yeah.
correct.
Dang.
So it's like it's tough with the girls, man. It's nothing like how we was in school where the girls they They main thing is I need to come to school looking good, my clothes is good,
Mm-hmm.
my hair is good. No, the girls, they the first things that pop off in the movie.
Dang.
Yeah, so it's just a tough environment to be in. But you
Yeah.
know, like I tell everybody, we got at my school I got 1,800 kids,
Mm.
right? But it's a 10% that ruins everything.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
I'm not gonna say that out of the 1,800, it's probably only 100 kids that's
Mm-hmm.
paying. But when I say they off, they off.
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
Those are the ones with lead.
man, they can disrupt the whole building.
Yeah.
The whole building. So,
Right.
so
What was you
Yeah,
gonna say, cuz?
well, what I was gonna say was, man, was that like what you like? Are you saying that you're like against like basketball camps, or because we've had this conversation? So you're saying that you're not too keen on basketball camps because what you're saying is that we, as in the black community, have to have that worm to get our kids out, right? Is that what is that what you're saying?
no,
And you're
I'm not against basketball camps. He was just trying to say, I think Jarrell, from my understanding, like he was talking about camp as far as like um being able to teach kids how to cope with stuff and like mentor stuff. But I think
Yeah.
that's more so something that yeah, you can have an outside mentorship. But I think as far as school, where you want the kids to come to school and get their education and not worry about all the outside noise that's not helping you graduate, I don't think you need a camp for that. I thought that's what he was asking.
Yeah, not necessarily. It don't necessarily have to be a camp, but
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
yeah,
another
yeah.
program put in
But
place.
but even with
Yeah,
programs, you gotta make sure you got people who are genuinely
yeah,
in
absolutely,
it and want to do the work.
absolutely.
Because it can be frustrating sometimes. You know,
Hmm.
like I work with kids all day. Yes, them kids can frustrate me.
Yeah.
But then when I get off work, I still got to walk in my house, and I got two kids. You know what I'm saying? So I
Hmm.
got two kids to deal with of my own, and I got to find a way to. I had Johnny, Tommy, and Tim wreck my brain all day because of their behavior. I can walk
Hmm.
in my house. I got to find a way to separate that because my kid can just drop the cup, and I can go off on him just because of all the stuff I've been through at school. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like I don't know. You got to
I just
find.
don't I just don't want anyone listening to this thinking that we're painting or Jarrell's painting the whole community, black community. Listen to me with a broad brush because it sounds like you're saying as black people
And
to we
yeah,
have
and
to have
it's never everybody. It's never everybody.
Yeah.
But my thing is again, the people that do need, a hook. Why?
what do you
That's the
mean?
thing.
What do you
But
mean?
this is the one thing I get what you're saying, Jarrell. But when I think we need to go back to the village. We don't have a village no more.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
When
Hmm.
we was coming up, we was outside. We was somewhere we weren't supposed to be. Boom. By the time we
Yeah.
got home, our parents they got the phone call
Yep.
knowing that we was X,
Yeah.
Y, Z. Miss Aileen up the street. She could
Hmm.
tap me on my butt if I was doing wrong. Then she'll
Right.
walk me home and tell my parents I was doing wrong. Then I would get another tap on the butt. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
I just feel like it's no village outside. The kids ain't scared of nobody. They ain't scared to
Hmm.
get in trouble because in reality, all they doing is really getting slapped on the wrist from society
Hmm.
itself. So
Hmm.
they're not really scared of nothing. I just want things to go back to uh not necessarily everybody's doing stuff for clout. That's what I feel like. They ain't
Yeah.
just doing it to better themselves. They just doing it. Or I want to get the clout from my homeboys to show that I'm a cool person. When we all
Yeah.
know that the cool kid in high school ends up being a bum 5 years into high school.
Hmm. Ain't that true?
Or the drug,
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I just want kids to wake up and see what's really.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is that the kids that we're talking about, it's just like you said, it's a small segment, in my opinion. It's a small segment of those kids, right? And that's why I don't want to paint our community with a broad brush. Like,
we're not
oh,
that goes without saying, cause man, I'm getting tired. You keep saying that I'm talking about everybody. That puts me in the category.
But the way you're saying it, you're saying the black community, right?
Okay.
And what Josh said was that there was, out of 1,800 kids at his school, it's only about 100 kids
100,
that are acting
that got
out.
lit.
And that's what I'm saying is that that's the 100 kids, the 100 kids that we're trying to tap into to make sure they're on the right path. So I don't, and that's why I'm saying that people can perceive what you're saying. Black community, right, has to have a hook. No, the black community doesn't have to have a hook. It's those 100 kids that are wayward that needs that hook. And that's where these programs like this come into play, because John knows and I know that these kids, if you tell them that you're going to have a study hall, they ain't coming. But if you tell them that, we're going to have a workout camp, or we're going to play ball or whatever, you get them into the doors, and then you hit them with, while you're in here, we're going to have study hall.
Right. So what
I guess you told me, huh?
It can't just be those camps.
Yeah.
No. It's got to be a holistic approach, right?
It got to be the parents that. Listen, I got more parents that scared of their own kid than anything. And I know I grew up on the era. I brought you in this world. I'll take you out. That's not the era of these kids right now.
Yeah. So, you brought me in this world, and I'll take you out.
Facts.
Yeah.
So, I just think it's, we got these groups. Let's say those 100. Those 100 that's at my school, I just think they want to be. Yes, they want to be successful, but they just want to be successful in their way, which ain't the right way. You got to change their mindset somewhat. You got to let them know that the issue that you're trying to help your parents with, that's your parents' issue. Do the things you do, so when you get to your parents' age, you ain't in the same boat or mishaps they're in. But I get it. You don't want your mom or your dad to struggle, so you're gonna go out there and try to help. We all get it, but it's not what you do; it's how you do it.
Yeah.
Some of the things you're doing is for short-term success or gains. You gotta look at the end of the road or the long-term gain. Kids ain't really seeing that, or gratification means everything for them.
Right.
See, my thing too, man, is a lot of times we get focused on what we're trying to fix, right? And we don't really see that there are dozens and dozens of parents that are feeling and raising their kids how we think that they should be raising their kids, right? But I'm just saying, like, it's just a small segment of kids, and it's another segment of kids out there that are on the fringe, right? That could go either way. So I just think that programs like that, like what we're about to get into about your program and everything, I think it's just for those particular kids that could go either way or that are going the wrong way.
Yeah, and those kids that are on that line, they're the most. Those kind of the kids I worry about the most, because those kids who are doing what we say is wrong and going down that path of destruction. A lot of those kids are good manipulators. They know how to get people to do certain things. So those kids that are on that line of going either way, they're easily baited by those kids who are already going down the wrong path, and our guys that are on the line, they're looking for that. They're looking for a place to call home or to be somewhere to be accepted. So they know this for David, and David is one of the biggest dope boys in the school, I'm gonna be good. So versus like, now I'm gonna stay on this side, stay on my path, earn this scholarship, and I'm gonna be good that way. So
Right.
that short term gratification is absolutely diabolical.
And the crazy thing about that is if they use it for good, they can become great salesmen,
Absolutely,
great spokespeople, great
absolutely.
uh influencers. Yeah, I mean, they can, you know, they have a slew of great things that they can become if they looked at the other side instead of, you know what I mean,
Yeah, for
the
sure.
dark side.
They've always said like you know those dope boys, man, they
Hmm.
have to get their product in, they have to, you know,
Hmm.
do whatever, they have to
They got
find out what the
the
profit
mental
margin,
math, all of
yeah,
that.
all
Yeah.
that stuff, man. So
Probably
if
the
they
best
just
businessmen in
use
the
that
world.
right,
Probably the
Yeah.
best businessmen in the world.
best
Right, right,
business.
right.
So it's like, man, use that to your advantage and use it for something that's good and positive, that's really gonna uplift and get your family out of whatever struggle
Yeah.
y'all
Facts.
in.
Facts.
So
Bro,
John,
so
let me jump in real quick. John, let's talk about your program and the tournament that you're putting on.
that's where I was headed, bro.
You big dummy.
All right, go ahead, yo.
So yeah, I'm trying to put on a fall league. Um, like I said earlier, a lot of kids don't like to work out. Well, they like to work out. They like to have their trainers. If they're not in the gym, they're not touching the basketball. So I remember when I was in school, we had the summer leagues, Harford County summer league.
Hmm.
Everybody wanted to play in it. That was like, another season for us. We still wanted to get at Edgewood. We still wanted to get at the Fallstons, you know. Um,
Hmm.
so I'm trying to bring that back. I tried to do a spring in the spring, but a lot of coaches, I had 14 that was committed, but a lot of the other coaches were like, my kids play AAU, they're not going to be around. So I couldn't do it in the spring, this past spring, so I'm gonna try again in the fall. The goal is to get high school age kids during the fall, so they can get another season in, work on what they need to work on, and get better. And at the same time, we'll have like a little like a SEL, social emotional learning piece that my partner will do before every game, to talk to the kids, try to get their mind straight, focus on the things they need to do so they can accomplish and then graduate and go to the next level if that's where they want to go to. Um, so that's the goal and that's the plan.
So did you say that there's some dates for the tournament or for anything like that? And where can people find out more information about this?
So right now we don't have the dates to start yet. We are still in the process. We still got to find out when schools actually start back up, because we're going to use Aberdeen High School as where we're going to play at. But as soon as we get the schedule with that, we're going to put that up. What was the other question you asked?
So with your tournament and with your program, do you have a website or an email address that people can reach out to you?
Yeah, I definitely have it. We don't have a website, but we got an email address. You can reach me at johnlewis32@gmail, or you can reach my partner at. Hold on, let me find his email.
And then the other thing, John, is that Jarrell Relski said that he could out hoop you back in the day. That's what he told
I
me.
ain't never said that, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what he
I
said.
ain't never
yeah.
said
He
that.
said he took.
But
Hey, he told me he took you on the block.
there wasn't too many people that can mess with me out here in the county.
I ain't never said that
So
one.
you can also reach the vice president of Aberdeen Parks and Rec, Stephen Davis. I'll be working with him to help put this together. You can reach him at KSHJR JUAN22@verizon.net. Yeah, we're working with Aberdeen Parks and Rec.
We'll have all of that in the you know
You know,
the notes and stuff.
All right, all right. So working with him. So right now we're trying to find sponsors. So my whole goal is try not to get the kids to have to pay anything
Mhm.
to play in the league. And again, if they do, I'm trying to minimize it as much as possible. Again, I'm not trying to make no money off this. It's more so to give back to the kids and give them the opportunity to play more basketball.
Yeah.
Um, when I
What's
when
the extent of the league? How long is it going to be?
so my goal is to have I think 8 weeks,
Okay.
8 teams. Each team play everybody once. We'll do a single elimination tournament for the playoffs, but everybody get to play at least 7 to 8 games. Um, so that's the goal. And I
Okay.
just want to be competitive and grow each year. I really want to
Mhm.
start with Harford County teams, all Harford County, then eventually start adding cities and just make the competition better and better. So I don't have to put out the flyers. I will already have people contacting me saying, "Yo, I'm trying to get into this league. This is a great
Mhm.
league. It's
Mhm.
competitive." Um, so it's just some things that we got to cover the cost on, which is
Mhm.
going to just make the team fee higher than I want it to be. So
Yeah.
hopefully I can reach out to some sponsors and they can help with that type stuff.
Yeah. Well, the delegate got connections down at the Capitol and stuff. Maybe we can get the delegate to, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
contact, his twin, his doppelganger,
yeah, yeah. I was
the
connected with
governor.
I was connected with the delegate from
Yeah.
Malik Austin. He used to be a
Yeah.
rival of mine because he went to Edgewood, played with the
Yeah.
Reds. We had some good competition back in the day, but he reached out to me, was like, "Man, I like what you're doing." And he contacted me with Mr. Johnson. So we've been talking. So
Yeah. Shout
I'm
out to
excited to
Bleak. We gotta get
see.
Bleak on here too, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, Bleak been doing some great things for the
Yeah.
community.
Yeah. Definitely.
So
Definitely. Definitely.
I applaud what he's doing. So I'm
Hmm.
keep doing what he's doing, man. You don't have too many people that went the route he went and came
Right.
and now back and trying to
Hmm.
make sure nobody else go down that path. So
Talk the talk, like
yeah,
he talked
yeah,
the talk and walk the walk.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, for sure, for
definitely
sure.
do,
yeah.
So
definitely do.
I had a long conversation with him one time, telling him to keep doing what he's doing.
Yeah,
We need some of these what you call OGs back to talk to these kids and tell them what you're doing ain't right.
yeah,
Right?
bro. We just had somebody on a couple of weeks ago, and I said like our generation, like we failed the younger generation as far as mentorship. There's
Yeah,
some people that are actually doing it. I mean, but you know, I've always been told that we are supposed to have a mentor above us, and we are supposed to have a mentee. Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, and a lot of us don't even have either or. Yeah, I
right.
mean, so especially the dudes in the streets, man, they failed the dudes in the streets. Yeah, I
Yeah, for
mean,
sure,
like,
for sure.
I'm far from the streets, so I
Yeah,
can't reach them boys,
yeah, not at all.
unless I got Bleak with me or something. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, like, I can't reach them dudes like that no more.
yeah. So that's where the village come in. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? If we all working together for the one common goal, it shouldn't matter where your background from.
Yeah.
I'm talking some positive stuff to you, so
Hmm.
that should go in and stay in, and not just going in one
Yeah.
and out the other. So
Facts.
it's just things we got to work on and be together.
But
Yeah.
the thing about all of this, man, is that for the next generation, for this generation that's up now, and for the next generation, it's going to be people like us that need to stay consistent, because that's what they're missing. They're missing consistency,
Yeah.
right? We
Hmm.
we can show up one time, two times, whatever, but then
Yeah.
we fade away. So we need to be consistent, and we can rebuild our community, man. But it's gonna take folks like us. It's gonna take folks like Jai and his program to really get in there and really invest some sweat equity into these kids. These kids, man, there's no kid in this world that doesn't want someone to check them and put them on the right path. I firmly that. I firmly
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but
I just want. It's tough because I never thought I would work in Baltimore City. First and foremost, I thought I'd finish playing, come back to Harford County, and just do my thing around the county. But when you see that, not that the kids in Harford County don't need me, they just need me in a different facet, so to speak. For me, I think the kids in the city need me in the city because they're going through a lot more things than our county kids. Not saying our county kids are not going through the same thing they're going through, but it's just at a lesser scale. But I just feel like me running this league, I can reach kids in a different way than necessarily having to be in the school with them. So, my guys, myself and my guys, we're trying to do things to help the kids in the county. I even talked to Mr. Johnson this week. I want to say, I'm in a great fraternity of Omega Psi Phi. So, I asked them what are some ways I can get to help getting people to donate to our scholarship fund. Our scholarships every year through Omega Psi Phi. So we're just trying to raise more money to give out more scholarships so kids can have an easier time in college. So it's just so many things my crew's trying to do and try to better the kids in Harford County.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro. And of course, bro, if you need anything from us, you got it, bro. I know you already been contacting Andre and stuff, and you got me if you need me, bro, anytime. So my last question. So any celebrity friends is gonna be at
I mean, if I can get it popping, I don't mind reaching out to a couple people I know, see if they'll come and talk to the kids. Like I said,
okay,
we try to
bring them out.
Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to have a little social emotional learning talk before each game, so that's something that I can get one of my guys to come and talk to the guys before the game. So it's endless options, and this is, like I said, this is the first season of it. So as it grows and gets better, who knows what may happen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Trying to get Mr. Johnson to get me some help so I can run in and make sure these bills get paid.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we definitely gonna reach out to some of these businesses in the area and get you some sponsorships and everything like that, man. And that's what it's all about, man. Is taking that first step. The road on 1,000 miles is taking that first step, man. So we in that first step phase, man.
Right.
I really appreciate you actually coming back to the community and actually seeing a need and fulfilling that need. Start, putting yourself into that position where you can fill that need, because like I've said, and Jarrell has said it too, man, is that Harford County, around the county, especially in the Route 40 corridor, man, we have incredible athletes here, man. It's just, they don't know what their next step is or how to get to that next step. So I think with your leadership and your celebrity, you can reach these kids, man. So I'm here for you. I know Jarrell's here for you, man, and we're gonna make sure that this happens, man.
And I just want to say this: I'm not just trying to reach athletes. We got a lot of talent in the county. It's just they got to find that support. Like even with this basketball thing, I know that as long as I've been here, the county has never been a place that has well, where the residents are, all right, I got this is going on. I'm going to spend this money to go there. I know that a lot of residents in the county don't have money to do those type things. So that's I'm trying to raise this money so that it lowers the cost for the kids and they get to do something they truly want to do. I know there's kids that want to play basketball all day. I know there's kids that want to do X, Y, and Z all day. We just got to find ways as the community to help not just one person, but a group of kids go and do something they want to do. I think that just bring the community and the county together.
Right.
And they say, man, that sports and sports activities where you have competition is the best way to bring people together and build community, man.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I believe that you're on the right track, man. So, but look, man, we came up on the hour, and so look, man, we appreciate everything, man. We want you back. We want to have another conversation with you. And next time, man, John, we're gonna get into basketball, man, because this dude right here, man, he don't know no ball, man. He thinks
whatever, man.
He don't know no ball.
If I ain't mistaken, Jarrell was a football player. I don't know about
No, I wasn't a football player, bro. I was the baller, but I ain't gonna say that I was. Yeah, I mean, like I could have been, you know, but for real, I didn't have the confidence, bro. Yeah, I mean, I was better than a lot of dudes. I just didn't have the confidence.
Hey, that's key right there, though.
Yeah,
confidence, man.
Yeah.
Man,
that's why I needed somebody back then, bro. Yeah, I mean, to help me and push me along the way. You know what I mean?
Look, John, we've had some. We Jarrell and I has had some knockout drag 'em outs about Kobe, LeBron, and Jordan.
Man.
And so we're not gonna get into it today, but all I know is Jordan's the GOAT.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're agreeing with me.
I better say that. I ain't never knocked that. Jordan's always been the GOAT, will be the GOAT, and will die the GOAT, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you can deny Jordan being the GOAT, man.
Yeah.
The era that he played in, the style that he played in, I don't think you can just compare the two. This era is a whole lot softer. Can't touch nobody.
Bro.
More threes. Then you had to get to that cup.
Right.
And you was getting touched.
Right.
So I think it's just two different eras. Yes, Jordan's the greatest of all time. No doubt.
Wait a minute, I hear a butt coming, man. I hear a butt.
LeBron is the greatest of this era.
This time. Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
Well, one thing that AI said, right? The most profound thing that just sets Michael Jordan apart from everybody. He was talking about the 75 best award thing, where all the 75 best in NBA history was there, right? And then Michael Jordan walked in. Everybody just stopped. Like his aura.
Yeah.
Like, how you got 74 other dudes that have been the greatest of their time,
all time, right?
And Michael Jordan, mind you, you have LeBron in the building, you got Magic in the building, you got I don't know, you know, all the other dudes. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you got those dudes in the building, bro. But when Michael walks in, all eyes on Michael, bro.
Yeah. Ain't no arguing that. Ain't no arguing,
bro. LeBron would never be better than Michael, man.
Now, could LeBron play back then?
No.
Hell no. Now his body size, yes.
I'm gonna disagree with y'all.
Bro, he's a crybaby, bro. He could not play back then, bro.
Listen. When LeBron first came in the league, what type of league was it? It was a little bit more
It
physical
was a
than
little
it
bit
is
more.
now.
It was a little bit more physical.
He wasn't crying when he first came in the league. He's crying now because now it's a crybaby league.
I agree.
Do I think LeBron could have played back then? Yes. Do I think would LeBron still have been great? Yes. Do I think he would have had a little bit more injuries? Yes. Because he would have got banged up around there.
Oh yeah, he would have been put on.
Yeah, no question.
Charles Oakley, Dennis Rodman.
Charles Oakley would have knocked his
You're gonna feel
head
it when
off.
you come in that lane.
Yeah.
So I just think it's just a different type of game. And I think when I grew up, basketball was a contact sport. Basketball is a contact sport. I look at football as a collision sport. Right? So now today's basketball is not as much contact as it was coming up. So LeBron could play another 5 years if he wants to. He can wait till his next son come into the league because it ain't that physical. It ain't that demanding.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they have days where they can take off. Jordan and them, they play all 82 games.
Yeah.
If something wasn't broke, ankle wasn't broke, leg wasn't broke, they was playing. Regardless of the ankle injury and none of that.
And John, let me ask you this, because people gonna hear you say this, and then these young people gonna say, well, you just trying to be nostalgic, right? You ain't being nostalgic, right?
No,
this
is
being
a realist.
Right.
Being a realist.
Right. No. Yeah. And I agree.
Do I think Jordan could have played in this time? Hell yeah, he probably would average 60. You know what I'm saying?
I heard KG say if Jordan played in this era today, he would average 45. Average. Average.
Because I think when Jordan played, they had hand checking. So I could put my hand on your waist and pretty much guide you where I want you to go. You can't do that now.
Right. And then the other thing too, man, is that like right now, your field goal percentage, is it better shooting threes or because nobody really has a mid-range game anymore. It's all three.
They took that out. They don't want that no more. They want a layup or a three.
Right. So but, I mean,
if you've seen SGA, all he shoot is mid-range.
All he shoot is mid-range.
Wasn't he the leading scorer of the league this year?
Yeah, he was.
It's all about putting the ball in the hole. It ain't necessarily got to be a three or whatnot. Right. It's an easier bucket. Right. Steph Curry 3-point percentage may be better than his 2-point percentage, but that ain't go for everybody.
Right.
What's best for you.
Right. But that's what I'm saying, Ja, is and this clown right here talk about Curry didn't change the league, change basketball.
Bro, he didn't
change the game.
He didn't. So my thing is, he didn't say, "Oh, y'all should start shooting threes like me." No. That's what I'm saying. That's what Andre's saying. He's saying Curry started shooting threes, so everybody shoots threes now, and GMs and all of them saying, "Oh, Steph Curry does it, so you should do it."
Yeah, GMs, because they're looking at.
There are GMs that saying, "Yo, I don't want nobody shooting two, shoot three."
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah,
you gotta think that's when Melo went to
Houston.
Right? Melo is a 3-layer level scorer. He's gonna shoot a layup, he's gonna shoot the mid-range, he's gonna shoot a three. He has to start his game off with a layup or a mid-range. He ain't shooting 1,000 threes.
Right.
That's why he stopped playing in Houston, because they told him to go mid-range.
Right.
He's a mid-range killer. Why would you play mid-range?
Right.
That's just people being outsmarted by stats instead of knowing the game of basketball.
Right.
And Jarrell, all I'm saying too is that in most sports, it's all a copycat league. It's all a copycat league. So they saw the success that Golden State was having with Curry and with Clay and all that, and then everybody's like, okay, they shooting the three, we got to shoot the three because they go ahead.
Yeah, but again, like everybody isn't the same. Yeah, I
No,
mean, like
that's
the
what,
teams aren't equal. You know what I mean?
but
You know,
that's what Jai and I are saying is that Curry is his own phenomena, right?
I got
Like
you. Yeah.
then everybody else thinks that they Steph Curry.
Right.
Right. And so that's what we saying. Like, nah, like, bro, like you six man, like you
Yeah,
ain't Curry.
yeah,
Go to the back
yeah.
of the bench.
Don't
But these
nobody
cats,
post up. You got Wimby. You got Wimby 3 feet behind the arch,
but
bro.
don't sleep on Wimby.
Nah, I'm not saying that he can't shoot. That's not. Yo, we grew up, nigga. Get down there on the block.
Yeah, no doubt, no
I
doubt,
mean, like, what are you doing up here, yo? Move.
no doubt. But for instance, okay.
We would get mad if a big dude took a three back
Listen, my
then.
high school coach wouldn't let me shoot,
Yeah,
and I probably shot better than half the people on the team.
Right,
right.
but hey, you see that block down there? Get on the block.
Yeah,
Right?
Yo,
Yo,
get down there, yo.
what I'm saying is too, like, look at how Jordan Poole thinks that he's Curry, right?
that's why he just got traded.
Mm,
You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying is that cats think that
mhm.
they can
And this is
emulate.
why Curry's gonna get the blame for that. You know, Reggie Miller was the leading 3-point shooter,
Mm.
and I think he got it last season of his career. Steph got that like 3-4 seasons ago, surpassed him.
Mm-hmm.
How many more
So
seasons do you think he got left in him?
Steph, uh, I don't know.
I,
I don't
I,
know.
think,
It
I, I
depends.
think I think he
At
could play
least
another
3.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, I think as long as LeBron's still playing, those guys play.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, because once those guys leave, it's basically a whole new era of kids
It's
coming
crazy.
in. Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, yeah. We about to see
Crazy.
a whole new group of kids come in. So
Crazy.
you got to find out who the next superstar. You know what I mean?
Right.
LeBron
Right.
about to be out of there. KD about to be out of there. Steph about to be out of there. Who next?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the next crop is gonna be SGA, Ant Man.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. Is Giannis still gonna be in there?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't see him in Milwaukee too much longer though.
Nah, I don't think so either. I don't
I
think so.
heard talks with the Knicks. I heard.
I don't know.
Bro, my Wizards got $100 million in cap space.
Bro,
Yeah.
you talking about your Wizards and you don't even go to the games, bro.
But nobody
Bro,
wants to go to the Wizards.
that's what I'm saying. Like, why would I go watch trash, man? It's
Yo,
gone.
the atmosphere is great down there to watch games.
Sure.
Yeah, it
I don't
is.
want to watch. I don't want to watch the Wizards lose. I mean, they were a
You
dumpster
don't want
fire
to pay
last.
for them to lose.
No,
You
no,
yeah.
I don't want to pay good money to watch Jordan Poole jack up a 40-foot three and then act like
Yeah.
go in. I ain't
But
want.
Yeah.
I think the Wizards are being smart. They brought in some good vets.
Mm-hmm,
They don't have no like out off court issues
mm-hmm.
to come in there with the group of young boys that they got, and the young boys they can go.
Yeah.
They
I
can
think
go.
the best.
I think once they get some good structure with them, get a couple more pieces, you may have that Wizards team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I
Mm.
think. I think bringing in CJ
Yeah,
was that was a great trade. I think also
Who?
Marcus CJ
McCullough?
McCollum
yeah.
Okay.
and they got Marcus Smart on the team. Now what they really need though is, in my opinion, they need to bring in Thibodeau from New York, because they need to have a defensive minded coach that they can start locking teams down. That's what
Yeah, but the only thing I don't like about Thibodeau is he's only going to play 7 guys and he's going to pay them 35. So that was the big issue in with the Knicks. He
Okay.
he didn't go deep enough in his bench and he wore his guys down. He has a history of that. Even when he had Derrick Rose in Chicago,
True.
They had a squad that they could have went a little deeper in their bench, but they didn't. They kind of blamed Thibodeau for Derrick Rose injuries.
True.
I mean, he's still gonna keep his starters in.
That's true. But see, but what coach out there can the Wizards get that can instill some structure? Because that's what I think the Wizards need is structure.
Who that?
I said I think the Wizards need structure.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So I don't know what coach is available to instill structure and discipline in the team. And maybe that comes from the players. I don't know.
I mean, I think them getting rid of some of the guys and bringing in those good vets, they should be all right though.
Okay.
They should be all right. It's not going to be something you're going to see next season, but they should be better next season than they were this year. I think Poole just had too big of an ego. He was just out there doing things he shouldn't have really been doing.
Yeah, I don't think his mind was right either.
No, they said he checked out. They said as soon as he got traded to DC.
It wasn't as soon as he got traded. As soon as Draymond did what he did.
Yeah. I agree with that for sure.
Why Draymond do that, man, like that? He walked up to him smooth, bro. Man.
Yo, what's crazy is I just seen an interview Draymond did. I seen it a couple days ago, but he said, "Yo, once I did that to Jordan Poole, I realized he wasn't built like me." So
you should have been knew that he wasn't built like that.
Yeah, because he was expecting Jordan Poole to come back and they really get the tussling, but
yeah, you can see that he ain't built like that.
Nah.
That's crazy though.
Yeah.
Wow. Yo. All right, again, Mr. Lewis, we appreciate you coming on, man. We definitely gonna have you back on. Make sure you send Andre the email addresses for y'all contacts so we can have them in the notes and stuff. And again, bro, salute to you for all that you're doing within the community. And again, bro, if you need anything from us, we here for you. And continue to support you, bro.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me and letting me speak and get this out to everybody. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. And once again, this is the Bridge Podcast. I'm your host, the Delegate. That's the co-host, Relski. Look, hit that notification button, that like and subscribe, and look for upcoming episodes. And we'll see you again on the Bridge Podcast. Peace.
Holla.